Hey everybody, let's talk about A6 size, shall we? A6 is a fairly recent discovery for me. We'll go ahead and say that it's a recent obsession as well. I don't know why I'm so enamored with this size. It's just so tiny and cute, and I'll tell you where it started. I was placing my Hobonichi order for 2019, and I was getting my normal weeks that I use for everyday planning, and I was getting the cousin avec that I have been enjoying for homeschooling, and I thought, well, why don't I just go ahead and get an A6? I might as well. And so I got it. And I got the black cover with the plastic cover on cover. And, I have this beautiful set. And I was trying to think what I could use this for. And I kind of had in my mind that I was going to move my memory keeping into this size and into this Hobonichi. And I've got a video, I will link it in the eye and in the description. And I have a video of that explaining that this size was a lot less intimidating than the standard size that I was doing my memory keeping in. And so I was really excited to switch over into this, and I thought it was just so cute and adorable, and I could easily fill up these daily pages without any anxiety about it or without any dread. And since this is obviously dated for next year, like everybody else, I'm just so overly excited to start something new. So what I did, because I wanted to start right away and I didn't want to do my memory keeping in standard for the rest of this year because I already knew I didn't like it. So what I did was I bought one of these Midori MD notebooks. So this is the A6 size and it's the blank paper. And I started using this year on September 1st. I pretty much moved into this to do memory keeping. I've been so happy in this. It's an absolutely beautiful notebook. I got the Midori clear cover that fits over this for now. And this, I don't know what it is about this. And the paper is really lovely. It's thicker than Tomoe River paper, but it is so soft and smooth, and it's this really lovely cream color. And I don't know what it is, but there is something about this brand, the Midori MD brand, that just hooks me. And I don't know, we're just BFFs and I'm obsessed. We'll just go ahead and call it that. So I have been having so much fun being in this size. Now, the Midori MD Notebook is the size of one avec book. And given how chunky this is, with not even a month and a half in it, I have no faith that I will be able to do memory keeping in the full year Hobonichi. And I pretty much decided that I wasn't going to use this Hobonichi for that. So I pretty much decided I would continue using these Midori MD notebooks to memory keep. So once this is filled, I will just get a brand new one of these. And I am so satisfied with that decision. It brought me a lot of peace and happiness, and I'm feel like I don't have to worry about the memory keeping side of things. So since that was kind of taken care of, I now had to figure out what the heck I was going to do with this Hobonichi. So what I was thinking about was I've been seeing lots and lots of people. I've been watching lots and lots of videos of people sharing how they are doing their self-care, tracking self-care, you know, different self-care goals, whether it has to do with weight or just mental, just all of that stuff. So I've seen people, I've seen John Rush doing his thing, and Amy Graham from Badass Valkyrie. You know, she's done her self-care thing. I believe she does it in her Hobonichi weeks, but she's done that like for forever since I've been watching. And Sam from Sam Plans, she shares a lot on Instagram about what she does. And Sylvia from Write Your Life, I've seen her videos of how she sets up her self-care. And so I've seen people do their meal tracking and just this, that, and the other thing. So I, earlier this year, tried to do a little bit of a self-care tracker. I put a standard size insert in one of my traveler's notebooks, and it was just very whatever. It was just, a random cheap insert that I had, which there's nothing wrong with that. But in the end, what I found out was I was just writing out information in there and then forgetting about it. So I wasn't actually using it for anything. It wasn't actually making any kind of change or positive impact in my life. It was just kind of a task that I was doing, and I realized, well, that's just completely unnecessary. If it's not working for me, then I don't need to be spending time doing it. So I scrapped it, and then I kind of fell in the trap of, well, I tried it and it just doesn't work. It's something that's just not going to work for me, which is, you should never think that way, which I've learned, and you should always be open to the many variations and the many different ways that you can accomplish just one task. So I decided that I do need to focus on myself and just being well in every realm. And I thought that I could give it a go in the Hobonichi for next year, that I could try to attempt to focus on all the different aspects of self-care and kind of do a little daily thing using this. And then I don't know what my problem is. That is a very fine idea. There's nothing wrong with that. And on paper, I should have just run away with that and been completely happy and satisfied. But this brand, the Midori MD, has just like infiltrated my mind. And I came across the Midori MD diary, and it was like a complete accident. I didn't even know that they made these diaries, and I went down that rabbit hole, and you could see where I ended up. So basically, Midori makes these diaries, and you can get ones that are actually a lot slimmer than this, and they're yearly. So this is story of 2019. Oh my gosh, how charming is that? And then in the back, it's like to be continued 2020. Oh my God. Like, yeah, so sold. I'm totally sold. So they have these, and it's thinner, and because you get multiple days on a page. And then they have this version, which is the 1 day, 1 page. So there's a page in here for every single day of 2019. And it comes in an A5 size. And then this is obviously the A6 size. And normally when you get a Midori notebook, it's got this raw binding on it. And it's made to have a cover over it of some kind. But these diaries are already bound in this beautiful cover, and it's some type of faux kind of leather, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'll flip through this really quick if you're not familiar, but you get the beautiful story of 2019, and you get a year here and then a year 2020. So 2019, 2020 here. And then you get all of the months, and the months have a big margin on the side and a little bit of space around all of the other sides. So it's meant for you to customize and decorate. So it starts in December of 2018 and goes all the way to January of 2020. And then it goes right into the daily pages. And so they all look like this. And what it is, you have kind of a bracket here where you can put the date, and then there are 7 bullet points and then lines that go all the way to 24. So basically you can have the full 24 hours of the day if you're going to use it as a planner or something. And then this whole side of the page is just blank. But I did read that, you know, if you push down on the page, you can see the lines from the other side come through. So you can actually write all the way across and have a guide for all the way across if you wanted to use it in that way. So you get the whole year like this. And I was kind of thinking maybe I would write out what I ate during the day, maybe there, but I want to do things like counting steps, and I have some other ideas about it, but just to finish this up, it has this bright red and bright orange bookmark, and I'm coming around to these bookmarks. I'm not so judgy as I was before, and I'm kind of okay with it. And I love the stark contrast of these colors with this paper. And so you get all of the days, and it's up until the very end. And then you get this end page, and it's got a couple of lines, I guess, to kind of like summarize your year, and then a signature line. And then, of course, to be continued 2020. And man, this is just hitting me in all the right spots, because I could not be more charmed by this little diary. So before I actually got it, and, you know, I checked all the details about it and saw everything that it offered and saw photos of how this is laid out, I already thought it was so charming. And I already much preferred it over the Hobonichi. And I mean, so anyway, I decided that since this is going to be for my self-care, and that's such an important thing, and just FYI, I have twins, and they were the most difficult twins that ever existed. You cannot argue with me. When they were born, yeah, it was a lot. And so my self-care, I won't even say it suffered. It just kind of went poof and evaporated. And so I have had quite a time since then, since becoming a mother. I have had quite a time trying to reestablish and focus in on that again, because it is such a vital and critical thing for everybody to have, to just have some kind of focus on yourself. And so because that's such an important thing, and I want to make it such an important thing, and I wanted to make sure I properly focus on it, I wanted to get myself the most beautiful notebook that I could find, or the notebook that resonated with me the most. And it was this one, which is why it's in my possession. And maybe, you know, me going off on that whole thing was probably a bit much, but it's just where my head's at. And, you know, it doesn't take that much to convince me to get another notebook. But I was just I guess the word of the day is just charmed. I was just really charmed by this, and it makes me so excited to be able to do that. And in my classic style, I can't wait for 2019. So what I did was I just I just have a pocket notebook. This is just one of my log and jotter ones. And I started just doing mock-ups of how I would use this. And I won't flip through it because I didn't have time to like censor anything. But the thing is I don't want it to be like a crazy task. But what I have so far is I've been recording like a win of the day, like something positive that I accomplished in regards to self-care. So it could be something simple as like I ate out and I enjoyed myself, but I didn't overindulge. I didn't like binge on anything. Or even I ate something and I took my time and enjoyed it. And because I got in this really bad habit of just like inhaling everything that I'm eating in like 2 minutes flat, because like that was all the time I had to eat way back when my kids were babies. And like, I need to get out of that habit, you know, that's just not good for your stomach, at the bare minimum. And so it's just little things like that. And so I'll record a win of the day, and then, I have a section for concerns. So, maybe something that's bothering me physically or what have you. And I'll write that down and maybe track that as my concern and just see how it's improving over time or whatever. You know, and then I'd like to maybe start recording my step counts. I've got my Fitbit I've had for a little while that I really need to maybe use consistently, or I do need to use it consistently. But so I've been kind of playing with layouts and what I want to record and that kind of thing. So by the time I crack this beauty open, I will have a good foundation of what I'm working with. And because this is a daily thing, I don't want it to be overwhelming. I do want it to be beautiful, but for me, there is so much beauty in simplicity. So even if I don't add color or put stickers in or washi tape or whatever, I am perfectly fine with just hand lettering a beautiful word, even if it's just, win, and then I write my win for the day, and just making sure my handwriting is neat. That is enough for me. And at the end of the year, having a beautiful notebook with all of my beautiful writing in it is more than enough for me. And I just think it would be something beautiful to have. And I'm hoping that by having something so lovely to work in, that it will remind me throughout the day that, you know, I want to make better choices, because I want my beautiful choices to be reflected in here. And every day as I write things in, I want to have good and positive things to write in here. And yeah, so that's the idea, and I'm really excited about it, and I'm absolutely in love with this diary. And I love the aesthetic of the Midori MD line so much, and I love the little stamp right here and just the simplicity of this. And so I don't want a leather cover to cover this up, but because this isn't as sturdy as I thought it was, and because it is such a pale color, I do want to protect it. So I want to get a clear cover for this, but I'm having a hard time finding anything that fits this, because the pages are the traditional A6, but the covers are actually a little bit bigger on all the edges, so that I can't get like one of these covers to fit on here. And then the spine is giant. It's almost an inch, whereas this one is actually 0.4 inches. So I'm on the hunt. If you know of a clear cover that would fit well on this diary, please leave it in the comments. Let me know about it. I did get a clear one of these, the Hobonichi A6 cover, and it fits width-wise. I will show you. So it fits beautifully on this edge on both sides, but as you can see, there's just so much extra overhang. Like, I would be fine with this much all the way around. That's perfectly good to me, but this is just, it's just too much extra. So I'm still on the hunt. I'm not sure where else to look. I've seen something on jet pens, but anyway, just if you know of anything, just leave it down in the comments and I would so appreciate it. Anyway, I feel like that was like a huge long tangent on A6, and let's come back to the Hobonichi. So this guy is back to not having a purpose, and I don't think I need him, which is really sad because the whole reason I got into A6 in the first place and I found these things that I'm absolutely enamored with, it all started because of this Hobonichi. That's what made me look at A6 in the first place and what made me find these gems. And so I'm not even using him. But you know, thanks for that, Hobonichi. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this. I think I may give it to a family member or something, but I have him tucked away just in case, and we will see what his fate is. There's still plenty of time. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts and feelings are about tracking self-care things, what you're doing for it, what sizes you're using for that. And if you have any experience with the Midori MD diaries, I would love to know about that as well. And thank you so much, as always, for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to connect with all of you. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks again. Bye.